All right, chat. Back again. We're gonna talk about this super El Nino. Everybody was talking about the death tolls in France, the heat waves, everything that's going on with this fucking heat that we're dealing with.
It's insane.
It's insane. And nobody wants to talk about the real reason why.
Yep.
This is why. And I think
for the past 3 months, NASA satellites have been
it should be
tracking
more
this mass of
publicized.
water the size of a continent and 7.5 degrees hotter than the rest of the ocean, making its way across the Pacific on a 9,000-mile pilgrimage from the Philippines to Peru. This is a Kelvin wave, and it is the opening act of El Nino, a recurring climate event that has been periodically disrupting weather systems across every continent on Earth long before humanity began keeping records. But this time could be different, because this El Nino is arriving on a planet that is hotter than it has ever been before. And right now, the majority of models that scientists trust to forecast its strength are converging on the same conclusion. What's coming could be the
most powerful, most destructive
El Nino
in recorded history.
But is this the usual overblown apocalyptic Tuesday that everyone has come to know and love? I wanted to find out and to let you decide for yourselves whether it is time to start moving to higher ground. So,
I think it's mainly because we're overpopulated. Like, that's a start. Another thing that I think is happening is that there's so much, like, basically bullshit that y'all fucking doing that the universe saying fuck y'all.
to understand if this was in fact the start of El Nino event, the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, began monitoring the Nino 3.4 region, where changes in sea surface temperature are best linked to the effects that drive global wind reorganization and extreme weather events that we link with El Nino. The obviously slightly concerning news was that by the end of April, the temperatures in this zone had increased nearly 5 times above average, from 0.1 degrees C to 0.48. Then through May, as the cyclone-triggered Kelvin wave propagated east through the ocean, that number kept going up, reaching plus 0.94 degrees C by the end of the month. Then, on the 11th of June, NOAA made the El Nino advisory announcement, officially recognizing that the planet has tipped over into an El Nino state. Since that announcement, the whole system has shown no sign of slowing down. The latest reading from June 17th of 2026 showed a reading of plus 1.7 degrees Celsius, which is likely to keep climbing well into the summer. And it is worth understanding here that only 3 events have reached those levels since records began. The 82, the 98, and the 2016 El Nino events all maxed out at around 2.4 to 2.5 degrees Celsius.
So, pause that. I went to Lollapalooza in Chicago during that heat wave spike. It was 135 degrees with pure sun at a concert. Imagine that. Do you know how many people were dropping from heat exhaustion, dehydration, just passing out because it's too fucking hot? Heat exposure. Like, it, bro, I was in the front row. Couldn't stand it because of the pressure. I had to back up because I almost passed out. I went all the way to the back to the cooling tents.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I turned around and was about to go back, half of because it was 2 baseball fields. Half of the field, one whole baseball field, gone. No people. Then you keep walking, you go up, it's all people with camelbacks. That is it. It's only people in the crowd with camelbacks. Everybody else, triaged out. There's ambulances running in, there's fucking cops running people, literally firemen carrying people, running to the fucking medical tents. All day. I was there all day because I had my own camelback. I was smart. But I'm talking about all day. There's like, I think it's like 100,000 people were there that day. Bro, it is, that shit ain't no joke, bro.
With that being said, it brings us up to our sponsor.
You need this. Y'all need to go check out W, right? And speaking of hydration, they have hydration, bro. They have that. It's cool ass shakers. These are like the plain Jane ones. They have anime ones. We're gonna try to get our own. We're definitely gonna try to get our own. So if y'all wanna,
So if you guys wanna go there, you get these cool little colors off the sample packs.
Yep.
Try
out some flavors.
See what you like. but they also have hydrations, non-caffeinated.
Yes, not
Whatever you do, just look out for us, and we'll look out for you with a 10% discount using our code SYXO SYXO at w.gg.
It'll be linked down below.
Link down below.
Definitely will.
Down below.
Down below.
Down below.
Below.
All right, back to the video. Oh wait. One more thing.
Yeah.
I do remember working at that time for a certain activist company, and they had us doing outside canvassing. And outside canvassing, you have to stand outside and try to get people to enroll and sign petitions and whatnot. And the day they had me try to go in, I was working for like 3 weeks there, and I loved it because they was paying very well. For 2016, I was getting paid $18.60 or 96 an hour. Yeah, I was getting paid by $18 an hour.
I was getting
and
12
plus commission.
I was getting 12,
and that's in 2016.
So think about that.
2016, bro. I was working at that. I was like, yeah, basically $19 an hour plus commission, $100 bonus every time somebody. Yeah, let me in there. But this day, man, it was during that heat wave, bro. It was 120 in Chicago. And I'm standing outside.
It's humid.
Michigan.
Mind you, it's humid.
Michigan Ave in front of the museum.
Humid as fall.
There's no trees.
Ain't not a single tree over there. There's trees, but
look,
not anymore.
I just started working there, so I didn't even get my first paycheck yet. So I had no water. Your boy was struggling.
Struggle pack, bro.
Tell you what I did. I finished that day off like a champ. Never went back. Never went back. I quit.
Could never.
And there is still plenty of time for the current temperature readings to creep up. Right now, the NOAA prediction, which is described by some scientists as slightly conservative, is putting a 63% chance that the El Nino event that we are currently living through is going to push over 2 degrees of warming, classifying this El Nino as a super El Nino, but not in a good way. But why exactly is everyone so worried?
We're heading for disaster.
The El Nino of 1998 caused warm water to pile up off East Africa, leading to 100 times heavier than normal rainfall. Rainfall by itself doesn't necessarily sound too inherently problematic, but this caused extensive flooding, followed by outbreaks of malaria. And as the mosquito population swarmed, the area experienced the largest outbreak of Rift Valley fever in recorded history.
I want to say something here that might not, I don't know if anybody might have put the dots together, connected the dots. How Google's talking about all these artificial mosquitoes.
Yep.
And people are like, why y'all making fucking mosquitoes? Why y'all making mosquitoes? Mm-hmm. It looks like they know what's to come.
Yep.
It looks like they might have like an idea of what could happen with this super El Nino, and they're preparing.
And they're like basically so there's no virus.
So there's no viruses. So they're doing a good thing.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Let scientists do science shit,
let scientists do science shit, bro. It's like, honestly, I'm
cool with it. I mean, I'll get bit. I was like, cool, but as long as I don't have to deal with malaria and
yeah,
shit,
like, hell yeah.
Good.
Like, so yeah, that's another thing I want to point out is like that.
It's just also, mosquitoes help the ecosystem. It does.
So we can't get rid of them.
And tens of thousands of cholera cases were reported across the Horn of Africa. 1998, driven by the heat release from El Nino, became the hottest year in the instrumental record at that point. Over in Central Florida, that disruption to wind patterns saw the formation of the Night of the Tornadoes, where between the 22nd and the 23rd of February, 15 different tornadoes touched down, killing 42 people and injuring 259, the deadliest tornado event in Florida's history. Without the cold upwelling cooling down South America, drought raced across northeast Brazil, destroying subsistence crops and affecting the lives of 10 million people. The worst Amazonian fire season on record at that point. And that is a problem because Brazil is an agricultural powerhouse and the world's third largest agricultural exporter, producing the food that feeds roughly 11% of the global population. And that is obviously devastating, but pales in comparison to the 1876 El Nino, the strongest El Nino in the instrumental record. The firmament that it released meant that in India, China, Brazil, and the Horn of Africa, the monsoon rainy seasons simply failed to appear for the following 3 years.
A monsoon.
They move, motherfuckers. They said, no. We can't deal with this. This shit is treacherous.
Monsoon.
Monsoon. And y'all think it's not going to get worse?
A monsoon, for those don't know. That.
As a result, the crops never arrived either. This caused the Great Famine, where 30 to 60 million people are believed to have lost their lives. I think it is worth looking for a second at this
The
map
Great
of the
Color.
ocean.
Yep.
It shows temperature
Color.
and
The Great
distribution of the
Color.
hot water mass in 1877.
They were calling
And
it. They
this
said,
is where
hey,
we
we're
are
look at
today.
that.
overpopulated.
This
We're overpopulated. It's about to happen. Relax.
That was in 1877.
1877. That
was the greatest one that we ever had experienced.
Look at that. There's still water. Like, the water ain't even hot
Yeah,
in 1877. 2026?
the water's scorching.
Bro.
Scorching.
Like,
It
I
is
went in, I've
scorching.
used to scuba dive a lot. Water was cold back when I was diving. Like, you would jump in the ocean, oh, you be freezing. I went recently just to a little lake. Not the ocean, but a little lake. You know, lakes and running water, that shit normally cold as fuck. It was warm. It was warm, and it was just after winter. It was during so-called springtime.
And this thing, you see how it's mostly below the equator in 1877?
Yep. Now it's everywhere.
Look how far up that shit is above the equator now, bro.
Far. It's the whole
The whole up and down.
Up and down. It's everywhere. You see that top part that they're showing in Alaska?
Like, will we even have an Antarctica anymore?
Like, are we good?
Like, what's
Are
going on?
you sure that there's snow up there? Are we sure?
Are we sure there's still snow up there?
Because I remember that you guys were talking about the snow caps are melting. I haven't heard anything since. So
What's going on, brother?
what's happening?
Are we entering an aquatic phase?
Yep.
It's about to
Because
get
I know
real
that.
wet.
Remember, you guys said that like a bunch of little side, our side states, they're starting
We
to
finna
flood.
have new islands popping up and shit.
Yep.
Or less islands.
I think it's going to be less islands, and it's going to be more people getting crammed in because people are panicking and, going more inland. And they're going to run into problems because they don't know where to go inland. So it's going to create
stay
more
on
and
my
more
mountains.
problems.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
as you can imagine, is kind of a
Let's
worrying
fuck out my
image,
mountain.
and it is caused because we are just
As mountain
fundamentally
men, we ain't
sitting
too
on a
friendly as
hotter
humans.
planet than anything we've seen
Motherfucker.
in recent history. At this point, there is just so
be
much
floating around in your
excess
water,
energy
so
stored in the
around
oceans,
on our
which
mountains.
as of this
Foothills,
moment
cold
is
as
now
fuck.
slowly
Yeah.
being released
Don't go
into
to
the
mountains.
atmosphere. This
Don't
comes
stay
at a
over
time
by the
when
beach.
France
Don't
just
stay by the
posted an all-time high temperature recording of 45 degrees
Yeah, I know.
Celsius, and Arizona hitting its earliest 100-degree day ever, where it hit 102 degrees in March at risk, and so the food supply of over 1.3 billion people. The only thing that could make this worse is that this year, of all years, roughly 1/3 of the global seaborne fertilizer trade needed to produce crops around the
boys
world
better go on
has
diet.
been disrupted by the chaos and is stuck in the Strait of Hormuz. This may genuinely mean that we could be in a major economic, caloric, and humanitarian crisis on a global scale that we haven't seen before. But is there anything that we can do about it? I find myself here in a kind of strange place. I am broadly an eternal optimist, but I also believe strongly that we have to act and act quite.
Yeah, I'm not finna listen to that. But as I'm saying, like, that's really why we have this heat wave. That's why we have all this fucking heat, and yeah, that's what's going on, people. And people talk about what can we do. I'm really gonna be honest with you. There ain't nothing we can do. It's Mother Nature.
Yeah.
And the more you fucking try to stop Mother Nature and interfere,
She's going to revolt.
she's gonna revolt twice over on you.
Tenfold,
like,
if not
tenfold,
more.
if not more. So it's like, yeah, it's basically strap in and survival of the fittest.
Go back to your roots if you can.
Yeah.
If you can't, just stick it out.
Stick it out. And if you can't stick it out, then I mean that's all
Hey.
it needs to be said.
Hey,
Survival of the fittest out here, man. Survival of the fittest.
it's your Ruffiana.
I was raised on a corner, cold in my pocket. Mom said walk straight, but the block kept talking. I sold my piece for a quick little fix. Now my name got weight and my heart got chipped. She loved my face, not the mess I carry. I came home late, eyes red, so buried on the phone. She cried, said you gone too far. I said